about being okay with the good, bad, and ugly. To accept those things about ourselves that we can't change, and those things that need to be changed, we put on our big girl panties and do the work. Be True to You is about being real with God, being real with self, so we can be true to you. Be True to You is not about competing with one another. We're about complimenting one another.
Hey, what's up, world? It's me, your girl, Angela. Welcome to the BTrue2U Talk Show. We have a special guest today, but what I want you to do is do me a favor. Please be so kind. Go ahead and share it. Like it and share it. And in the midst of it, please drop down some comments. We're going to talk about what your money matters. And honey, I figure since tax returns is about here and everybody probably already got their check. I ain't getting no check yet or about to spend up their money. I might as well bring someone who I trust that knows about money. Her thing is your money matters. I'm gonna let her talk to you. I'm going to introduce you to her because she has been one that don't just talk it, but she live it. You guys, I have seen her live it. She helped me out numerous of times. I haven't caught on yet because I'm still in need of help. She used to know everything there is to know about saving money, whether it be couponing, taking trips, dinner, special events, you name it. This young lady know it. And I have a privilege of not just calling her a financial advisor, but I have the privilege of calling her my friend. And so with that being said, please be so kind. Shoot up some hearts as we bring Nichola Madry to the stage. Nichola! Woo-hoo. Hey, Nichola. Hey, Angie. Oh, that sounds so fun to hear you say that. Yes. Hey, Cola. You guys, I've never heard her really call me Angela because we have nicknames. I'm her Hoppo, and I just call her Cola. But welcome to the show.
Thank you.
This is your first time in the BTrue2U studio.
Yes, it is.
I want to say thank you that I called you out of the blue and you said yes. So do me a favor, Cola, and just introduce yourself to the people because a lot of people, although they might know you, they don't know you because we're global. We're speaking it into existence.
Okay then. Hello everyone. My name is Nichola Madry. I am the CEO and president of Your Money Matters. I am also partner at Levy and Associates, and I just like to talk about money. I like to help people with money. I like to help people invest. I like to help people get out of debt, become debt free, and whatever I can do to just help us learn more and more about money is what I like to do. Unfortunately, we only know what our parents have taught us.
Right.
And unfortunately, most of our parents didn't teach them anything, so there was nothing for them to teach us. And so I believe that we really have to start with our younger generation in order so that we can have that legacy and leave that legacy money for our generation, kind of like the Hiltons and the Trumps. That's legacy money. That's money that has been passed on from generation to generation.
That's what we call old money.
Oh, definitely. And so that's something that I would love to see happen in our community is that we leave a legacy for our children, and then they continue to leave that legacy for their kids.
Okay. So, you guys, I don't like to bring on a guest without being able to leave you some tips. So if you have any questions or some tips that you need to know, drop it in the comment. And as we go, we will ask Nichola to try to help you. Now, keep in mind, if you want her service, she has a fee. But the good thing about her being on the show today, I can get you something free, y'all. So I'm going to try to get you something free. So if you have any questions or you have any concern, this is the time to drop it in the comment and let Nichola help you through those hard times. And there's a lot of hard times going around, Nichola, because as we know, even though the world don't want to say it, we're in a recession. And even though us Christians, we like to say, well, I'm not in a recession because God is for me. Okay, we can use the word, but at the same time, we're in a recession. And so in that, we have to be wise the way we spend our pennies. Mm-hmm. And so how did you first get into Your Money Matters?
I started with Your Money Matters because just like everybody else. Well, not everybody else, but like many of us, I grew up in a one-parent household. My mom was a single mom who did the best she could. She didn't know a lot about money, so there was not a lot that she could teach me. And so when I graduated, I said, you know what? That's going to be my field. I want to go into finance. I want to know how to make money. I want to know how to invest money. I want to know about money because that's something I didn't know from growing up. And so I decided to go into finance, which is what I did. And ever since then, I've just been trying to teach more of our generation and the generation behind us about money, about saving, and about finances. For instance, when my kids were small, and that's where we have to start. We have to start with our kids. When my kids were small, I wasn't the parent who would buy you the Nike shoes and $200 or $300 for that, or all the new things that came out. But what I did was I bought stocks. So while everybody else was paying $300 or $400 for Nike, I was paying $25 to $50 for the stock. And as they continued to pay $300 or $400 for the Nike, the stock that I paid $25 to $50 continued to grow up to $50 to $75 to $100 worth of the stock. So once my kids graduated from high school, I actually gave them a portfolio of stocks of all the things that they cried for that I wouldn't pay $300 or $400 for. Now you have a portfolio with Nike and Barbie and Mattel and all these other stocks that you wanted. And to this day, my kids are still investing in stocks. They're into the crypto. They're still, into finance real heavy. So that's the only way that we're really going to move forward is to start with our kids and to start with the generation behind us and our generation to be able to go forward to have that legacy money.
So I was thinking, you have 2 kids?
I have 3.
3 kids? Mm-hmm. That is an uneven number. You might as well adopt me and make it 4 and let me catch up with my portfolio because you don't miss a couple years, you know what I'm saying? Let's catch up on that thing. That is so good because we're only taught as much as our family know, right? They try to share as much education as possible with us. I come from a 2-parent home, but I came from a 2-parent home where both parents had to work. Though my father was the provider, he wasn't the sole provider. My mom worked for those things that we wanted, those things that to help us have a better life in a sense. And my dad pretty much paid the majority of the bills, but yet she still had to work. And so we wasn't taught about saving. We was taught about paying your bills on time, get a good job, and go to school, get a good education so you get a good job. We was never taught go to school, get an education so you can be your own boss, or how to save money. We was taught how to live. My mom taught us how to stretch a penny, but never to the point where how to save a penny. And so even in your finance studying, you taught your kids from a young age to save. Talk about someone who's saving at the age of 4, 18 to my age, 54. The difference, well, as the sooner the better.
That's a great question. So the way I think it's a great way to start with the kids is when my kids were in school and they started their first summer job. When they started their first summer job, so now the government says that they are working, they are able to save for retirement. So in my household, if you were working, you didn't have to pay me anything, but you were required to start an IRA and you were required to start a bank account. You had to deposit money into a bank account and then start for an IRA. So can you imagine at 13, starting to put in $100 a month into an IRA, and by the age of 40, the type of money that you would have? Because first of all, while you're still working your summer jobs, and then once you go off to college and you start working, the little jobs in college, you're still putting that money away. But then once you become into the workforce and you graduate and come into the workforce, you actually start your 401k and you're able to roll that money that you started in your IRA over into the 401k. So can you?
So let's slow down because we don't want to assume. My mom said that it's not too late. You can adopt her as your mother. We don't want to assume that everybody know what an IRA is, especially which we would hope most people do know. I'm self-employed, so being self-employed, I didn't pay into my retirement. And the only time you pay into Social Security is towards the end, but we do pay into Social Security for those who feel like they want today's time, right?
Mhm.
A lot of people are entrepreneurs. A lot of people are working for themselves. Everybody's opting out for I'm working for a company.
Mhm.
Tell them some of the important things to do as far as an IRA
Okay.
or starting their own. There's a possibility to start their own 401.
I just want to make sure we talk about entrepreneurs.
Yes.
Okay. So as an entrepreneur, you can start a SEP IRA or an individual retirement account, is what the IRA stands for, or you can start a business 401k. And the government will give you a tax credit for putting money away in the 401k for your employee. You are your employee.
Mhm.
So even if you're just putting the money away for yourself, you still get a tax credit from the government for starting a 401k. So it is beneficial for any entrepreneur to start a SEP IRA or a business 401k. Again, even if it's just you yourself, if you're putting money away, the government says they will give you a tax credit for each employee that you are deferring into the plan for. So that includes yourself as well.
Right. So back in the days, like when I think I started doing hair when I was maybe like I got my license when I was 18.
Mhm.
I really started doing hair when I was 21. It wasn't until like all jokes aside, I got into my 40s that it was brought to me the knowledge of starting my own IRA.
Mhm.
It was late, and I started with Prime America,
Uh-huh.
and so. I think it's something that need to really be taught. And although we're catching up, when I say we, I'm talking about people of color. We're catching up, but we're still behind, right?
Mhm.
And so, how do we find those places or IRAs that we can get into that's going to bring us benefits for our money? Because I know if some of it is high, you can lose a lot of money, and some of your money is a little stable.
Mhm.
So tell the difference as far as how do they save money, or what would be a good plan to try to put their money into.
Okay. So the different funds that you would invest in would be like high risk. So that's the one you're saying.
That's the one that
Exactly. Mostly only the younger. They would suggest the younger people because the high risk you get high returns.
It's aggressive selling,
It is
saving,
aggressive.
but
Uh-huh.
it's aggressive.
Exactly. But if you're younger and you have 40 years before you retire, you have time to recoup that money if you happen to invest in something that happens to take a loss. So it is aggressive, but you gain aggressive and you could lose aggressive. But again, if you're 19, 20, 30 years old, you still have quite a time before you need that money for retirement. So they will suggest aggressive for the younger.
Mhm.
If you are within the next 10 to 15 years to retire, they would suggest that you do moderate.
Mhm.
You know, you will gain, but not as aggressive as the aggressive stocks, but you won't lose as aggressive either. And then that money will be there time for retirement. So yeah, it depends on your age and the amount of money that you're ready to invest. Which funds you should invest in, aggressive or moderate.
Would you say it's too late for anyone?
Absolutely not. It is not even too late if you're 60 years old. It is never too late to start saving.
Yeah.
It's good if you can start early, but it's never too late to start.
Yeah. And then tell them what is your intake on the Social Security? Would you, as far as they've been said that it's not going to be there forever? I do believe that it's going to run out, and it's never going to. It may not be there for us. All of us that thought we put into our Social Security, we got my Social Security when I turned 62, 62, 67.
It really depends on what age. It's 65 for some, depending on the year you're born. Then 67, but by the time I'm ready, it's 70. So
What you
yeah,
say?
it keeps going up.
So if I was born in 68,
68, I think you have 67 and a half.
well, I gotta work 12 more years.
Yes, ma'am.
No, I gotta work 67. Oh, I gotta work 13 more years. Okay. And so you said you started buying your kids stocks instead of buying them things. I remember the first time I met you, you say whatever you wear, get stock in it.
Mhm.
And so if some people don't know how to choose stocks, what are some of the ways to look into getting into stocks?
So for a new beginner, I would suggest something like Robinhood, E-Trade, Ameritrade. Those are online trading platforms that you can trade on that you don't need a lot of money. You can start with as low as $10, $15, $20. and you can start to trade with that amount of money on those platforms. So I would suggest something like that. I would also suggest that you do some research and just see, like if you are a Nike person, you love Nike, Nike has a new brand coming out, and everybody's going to be buying those new shoes. You want to grab that stock ahead of time, because guess what? Once those shoes come out, then the stock's going to go up high because everybody's buying the shoes, so it raises the stock up. So you want to purchase things that you have done a little research on, or a lot of people go with things that they like. People in the medical field, they know medicine is going to be around forever.
Right,
so you
right.
will see a lot of them investing in the medical field. People that are in technology. My son is, tech. So he buys heavy into the tech market. So, and then if you just don't know what it is that you want to invest in, then there's Robinhood, E-Trade, Ameritrade. They have a resource library on their website, and it can give you a list of different stocks and tell you the highs, the lows, and how well they've been doing.
Yeah, I have Robinhood and American Trade.
Mm-hmm.
I have one question, Morgan. She said, "What's the best way to go about building wealth as a 28-year-old?"
Ooh, I'm glad she asked. I love when young people are into finances and want to learn. So the first thing you want to do, especially if you're young already and you want to start with a savings plan. You want to have an emergency fund. Emergency funds are so important. Even if you just start off with $1,000 emergency fund, and you say, why is that so important? Let's say your car burnt down, and you have to have your car repaired. How's the first place you're going to go to get the money? Possibly your credit card.
Mm-hmm.
Credit card's going to charge you 25% interest. If you have an emergency fund, and let's say it costs you $500, you would borrow the $500 from your emergency fund. You would pay it back plus interest, because guess what? You would pay interest on that credit card. So if you pay yourself back $550, now you have $1,050 in your emergency fund. So every time you would do that, you would pay yourself back. The next thing you would do is you would start to save. You need to try to have at least 6 months worth of savings for all of your household needs. God forbid, just like when the pandemic happened, a lot of people got laid off, was unable to get unemployment. You want to try to have at least 6 months worth of savings, and you're like, okay, Nichola, how am I supposed to start with 6 months worth of savings? Some of the ways that you can do that is you start a savings plan and put a little extra money away. You start there's things around the house that you're no longer using. Mm-hmm. There's Macari, there's OfferUp, there's Facebook Marketplace that you can put these items on and sell them and make money. And then you would take that money to start your savings fund so that you would have something to start with. And then the other thing that you want to do is you want to go in, you want to check your credit score, make sure your credit score is, where it needs to be. And if not, you want to go in and start to clean it up and take up and get all of the negative reports off. You want to check to see if there's anything that's been on there more than 7 years. If so, you contact the credit bureau. By law, they have to take it off. You want to go in and see if sometimes they get names mixed up. A lot of people have the same name and they have something on your credit report that doesn't belong there. You want to go in, you want to get that cleaned up and get it started. And then that way you can start to invest different money, and then that way is how you'll be able to start to save for generational wealth.
I like the idea that we need to learn to borrow from ourselves, right? If say you got a credit card and the highest credit card is $500, if you can get to the place where you can put that $500 in a savings or even in a checking account, and that you use that just like you would use a credit card, $25 for gas. When you make the $25 and get paid, you put the $25 back. We don't think about something that seems so simple that we don't put away for a rainy day.
Correct.
And my mom used to always talk about, you never know, you got to have something for a rainy day. But this generation, sometimes we're so caught up, right? And I was talking to one of my friend girls today, even to the point where people don't value who you are if you don't have money, right? Or you don't look like you have money. You could be the wisest person. You can have a word from the Lord. You can have some wisdom on the situation that they're going through. But if you're not driving a Mercedes-Benz, a G-Wagon, or riding or wearing red bottoms, then people feel like you haven't made it. And I say it to say that you got to be one of the most frugal person that I know, and you got all the money.
Really?
Yeah, but here, what I like about it is that you're not flashy with your money, and it teach me like most people. If you really look at most rich people, they're not wearing their money, right? But this generation, we want to wear our money, and so you know how to save money. You don't just know how to make money, but you know how to save money. You have different ways to save money. You know, whether it be couponing, whether it be Morgan said, let me get started now. Yes, Morgan, get started. And this is why I brought Nichola on, because people getting their tax return. And they're getting their tax return, they're putting their money down on a car. They're putting their money down on, Beyonce concert. And so if we can just get ahead of that, right? And I tell my children, I don't want them to be where I'm at, right? I'm still trying to get to the place where I have sound finance. I don't want you to be 54 and struggling, right? And so I felt like to be in the right place, it can make a difference. Or being around the right people can make a difference. No one that's going to try to make you feel bad about your situation, that will give you some wisdom to make that situation better. And that's how I see you. So I wanted to bring you on for that reason. And so Mary said, hello, beautiful. Nichola, I remember when I was really going through a rough time in my life. I mean, you've been there for me 2-3 times in my roughness. But I remember when you taught me how to coupon, right? Do you still do that?
I still do it a little bit, not as much anymore because it's just, me and my husband. So I have a garage still full of paper towels and laundry detergent.
Girl, bring me some of that stuff. I'm having a baby shower Sunday. I need some stuff to give away for gifts.
But I do still coupon. And I mean, there was a time I would go in the grocery store and leave my wallet in the car and come out with a buggy full of grocery and a credit from Publix. People sleep on coupons, but that's free money. Especially if you're using coupons when something is on BOGO and then you're using 2 coupons for it, you wind up getting it for free one half the time. So that's another way where you could save a lot of money. But I want to back up real quick and just talk about budgeting. I know that's a bad word for most people. They don't want to hear budgeting. Pretty much in the financial industry, it's a cuss word because they're like, I don't want to budget because I don't want to be where I can't enjoy my money. Well, budgeting does not mean you can't enjoy your money. Budgeting just means you decide how and when and where you spend your money.
Okay.
So we won't call it budgeting. We're going to call it a spending plan because we all like to spend. So we're going to call it a spending plan. So with your spending plan, all you do is you say, okay, I make $5,000 a month. I am going to use $1,000 of that for my mortgage. I am going to use $250 of that for my car insurance. I'm going to use, $300 for my car payment. So you breaking it down where you're going. You don't leave out your hair. You don't leave out your nails. You don't leave out eating out and dining out. You budget for that as well. You spend for that as well. You add that into your spending plan. And guess what? I want you to spend all $5,000 of that. Not all $5,000, yes, because then you're going to have a bucket for savings. You're going to have a bucket for emergency fund. Yeah, so I want you to spend everything that you make for that month on your spending spreadsheet. And when you look at it, you're like, okay, I still have my hair money in there. I still have my nail money in there. And now you're just telling your money what to do instead of your money telling you what it's going to do.
That is a word right there. Money is a language, right? Is an action, and you have to tell your money what to do. You have to command your money to do what it's expected to do.
Exactly.
And so I thought that was a good one. You got to command your money. You got to tell your money what to do. And here's the thing: we keep hearing, oh, money is the root of all evil. Yes, the love of money is the root of all evil. But the Bible says money answers all things. And so we need money to go around. We need money to have that life. But at the same time, we don't want to do any and everything for the money. We have questions here for you. One said, Morgan wants to know, are high yielding saving account worth it?
High yielding saving account, depending on what interest rate they are paying, could be worth it. Right now, my favorite thing is the high yield bonds that they were giving. I think it was like 9.5%, which no one is doing. It's the inflation bonds that they were, the Treasury, and it's backed by the government. It's backed by the Treasury. You know that is good. But it all depends on what interest rate you're getting on the high yield.
Okay, someone also wants to know, Nichola, this is Roxanne. She said, is it a good idea to give your teenager access to their debit card and bank account
Okay.
in an effort of teaching them?
Yes, it is. And before I answer that, let me go back to that part because I know Roxana has her own business. And this is one of the things that she and I talked about. She was giving her son a allowance. And I was like, why? Put him on your payroll, and that money you're giving him, you can claim it on your taxes because now he's an employee. And that's another thing that we as entrepreneurs that never knew, that you're going to give your kids money, you're going to pay for their prom, you're going to pay for all these things, but instead of doing that, let them post your stuff on social media, let them pass out flyers or whatever it is that they can do.
Address some envelopes.
Exactly, and put them on your payroll. And now that's a tax credit because now they're an employee of yours that you get to write off the money that you just paid them. So that it's good for us to do that as entrepreneurs that have kids. You definitely want to do that. And yes, it is good to give them a debit card. They need to be able to go to the bank to deposit their money so that they can see exactly what they have in there, so that they know when they want to buy those Nikes, they want to buy whatever it is that whether they have enough money in there. You want them to have access to the online. You want to teach them how to go in, how to check their account when their statement comes, how to balance their statements and everything. So it's very important because once they become adults, they already know this and they're not dependent on somebody else, their partner or whoever else, to take care of all of those.
Renee asks, what's a good way to start on a fixed income? Renee, that start saving, start an RIA. What is it that you want to know is a good way to start on a fixed income? But anyway, answer both of them.
Mm-hmm.
How do you start saving on a fixed income? How do you start an IRA on a fixed income?
The way you start saving on a fixed income is start your spending plan. You want to know exactly how much money you have coming in and then exactly how much money that you have going out so that you'll know the areas that you need to work on. So let's just say you're on a fixed income, you only have $1,000 a month coming in, but you know $500 that automatically have to go to rent.
See, I don't know where you living at because you already said $1,000 for your mortgage and $500 for rent. Wherever you live, send me. I want to move.
I'm just trying to
I
make
want to move.
Easy around.
She said, for the IRA, how do you start? She want to know on a fixed income, how do you start with an IRA?
Unfortunately, with an IRA, you have to be working.
Oh.
So an IRA is money that you put in for your retirement, but you can only put that money in
as a retirement plan.
Right,
Okay.
and it has to come from income that you have earned. That's why kids who are in movies and movies and different things like that, singing and stuff at such a young age, can start them an IRA or a retirement plan because they are working,
Mm-hmm.
so they can put money away from the money. So the money that goes to the IRA has to come from earned income.
Yeah.
But if you want to save on a budget, on a fixed income, just regular savings, you start your savings plan, you see where your money is going. So you can say, okay, out of this $1,000 I'm making every month, 200 of that is going to food. Let's just say that. So immediately, you need to contact me so that we can start with couponing.
Okay.
Because then that can cut your food budget from $200 to $100. Now you have that extra $100 to either put in an emergency fund or to put in a savings account somewhere. Mm-hmm. So once you start that savings plan, you'll know where your money is really leaking out at and where we need to plug it.
Okay. So y'all heard her. She said contact her so she can teach you how to coupon. So we're gonna do that, Cola. Let me ask you a question. Now that everybody's doing Instacart and online, can they still use their coupons?
They have, I don't know, I've never really done Instacart and Uber delivery services and stuff. But if you order like directly from BJ's or directly from Publix or Winn-Dixie or the actual stores, and then they're just delivering it for you, yes,
Okay.
because they have the online coupons for you to use.
Awesome, that's good. So you don't have to stop using your coupon
No,
because you
ma'am.
don't want to leave the house. Okay. Morgan said the hardest thing for her to do, I guess, is budgeting as far as direct. What you say? How you call it? Spending plan. Spending plan. So, what about those people who say, "I don't have enough money to budget. I don't even have enough money from 1 week to the next week. How am I budget?"
If you have $100, you got enough money to budget. So when she says it's hard for her to budget, is it hard for her to just sit down and set up the budget? Okay, so what I'll do is I can send out a spreadsheet, and a lot of people don't want to do, the manual way, which I don't recommend anyway. But you can set up on a spreadsheet, and once you set that up, it'll take about 30 minutes the first time. After that, it'll take about 10 minutes to do your budget every single month. And then once you start your spending plan, not a budget, once you start your spending plan, then you can see how much money you are really spending in certain areas and cut back. The other thing that I like to do is whenever I have like a one-on-one session with somebody and they're like, okay, I can't control my spending, what are we going to do? I like to put them what I call a cash diet.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about you, but when I have to spend cash, that gets a little different for me. When you go on that credit card, you don't care.
You don't even realize how much.
Right, you're going to pay it off at the end of the month, or you're going to make the payment, so you don't really care your charges. But when you're spending cash, it hits a little different.
Well, it's different too, Nichola, because if all you make is cash, you always have cash in your hand. You don't realize that you don't spend all your money because you're just spending. And so I think if it's different, like if you get a check or a direct deposit, maybe take a certain amount out, and then when that's done, you realize you don't spend all that. As far as me, and my daughter, I always tell her to put all her money in the bank because the more the money is on your hand, you at gas station, you at McDonald's, you at Merck King, you at Target. And you don't realize that you're just going through your money.
Okay, so what we do in the financial industry, we call it the envelope system.
Yeah, I like the envelope system.
So what happens is you set up envelopes for grocery, you set up envelopes for gas, you set up envelopes for things that you buy on a
daily basis.
Yeah, exactly, or a daily basis. And you put that $50 for gas in the gas envelope, that $50 for eating out in that envelope. And that's all you have for either the week or the month or however you want to do it. It makes you think a little differently. So when you call me up and say, Cola, you want to go out to dinner? And I'm looking out, I got $30 left, and they got to last me for another 2 weeks. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to catch you at the end of the month and see how much I have left in there. I'm going to pass on this one. Because you have to
discipline. It's discipline. You definitely need discipline. Morgan says she's ready for the coupon 101. And she said, yeah, that's her. All her money is gone because when it's in her hand, it's just gone. And I know that, and because I used to have to teach myself when I had tips, I would save my tips in envelopes, and you'll be surprised how much money you have when you put it away. Every day it don't look like anything, but at the end of the month, you realize you have some money. And so you did this challenge in our Get Up, Get Dressed. Show up 30-day challenge, and you put this challenge out for people to sell $500 in 30 days. And so listen, you guys, if you guys want the budget or you want the sheet to how you can save $500 in 30 days, drop your email in a comment and we'll make sure you get it via email or inbox. Just say I want it and we'll make sure that you get it because it will make a difference. And I say people can do what they want to, right? You can stretch your money to get out of what you want out of it. And if you want to make a difference, you'll do whatever it makes a difference. But what I like, I ain't gonna say what I like, but one thing about talking to you sometime, right? It can make you feel bad if you haven't started or if you're at a certain age, you feel like, oh God, I missed it. And so what I like about talking to you in the midst of you making me think about where I'm at, there's hope. And so talk to someone, talk to the camera people, the audience, of those who feel bad because they feel like at a certain age that they should have made it already, or they feel like she said, is it too late for them?
Well, you shouldn't feel bad because life be lifing.
Life be lifing, girl. That's my story right now.
And it happens. And everybody, even though people talk about saving and you try to save and then something happens and you have to take that money that you've saved and pay off this bill or pay off something or the car broke down. So you should not feel bad, but what you should do is say, you know what? It's just like dieting. You fall off the wagon, you get up and you start again. Don't never stop. Continue. I don't care if every time you save $100, it has to go to something. Okay,
at least you had it.
You had that $100 saved up, so you continue to start it. So it's never too late. My motto is this: you will do what you have to do for something you really want or something you really need. Because if I only had $100 in my bank account today, and they told me I needed $5,000 by Friday for my child to have a surgery, you better believe I'm gonna find that $5,000 from somewhere.
So you sell something. I would sell something. I'll sell something.
She talking about your handbags and your stuff like that. That's what I'm talking about.
All your stuff. You gonna do what a girl gotta do. But I'm sure that Mary said the saving things that you gave her, it really works. We have Carol, we have Mary, we have Tiara. They want it, so we're gonna make sure we get it to them. Mary, you know a girl's gonna do what a girl's gotta do. My mom say by the time she pay all her bills, her money's gone. She's on a fixed income,
Okay.
She's retired. So
what you would do for that? Let's say mom's on a fixed income, she's retired. So you would start a spending plan, and then let's see where all the money is going. Is it going to grocery? Is it going to lights? Is it going to cable?
It's going to grocery for my mom.
Right.
I can guarantee it's going to grocery for Merle. Because Merle, she gonna cook, and she gonna have a freezer full of food and say she ain't got nothing to cook. So go ahead, Cola. And I wanted to. I really wanted, and because I think that it is not too late. And you guys know you're gonna get them check. Whether your check be $100 or $50, your income tax is $5,000. I'm sure we can find a way to put something away.
Right.
And so I just think that is a great idea.
Yeah, I would like to challenge everyone to make a commitment. Challenge everyone to make a commitment to yourself. You pay FP&L, you pay Xfinity, or
you give tithes.
Right. Pay yourself. Pay yourself.
Why is that so hard for us to pay ourselves?
Right. Pay yourself. You deserve it. You work hard. And when I say pay yourself, I don't mean going on vacation all the time, but start to save for it. Because there's not a better feeling than going on vacation, enjoying yourself, having a good time, and coming home and know it's completely paid for.
Now let's talk about let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. You always traveling. You is always traveling. Sis, you go for the last 6 months. You've been out of town every month.
Yeah, that's right.
I know because you left me, right? You don't take me with you. You stopped getting your hair done because you got braids, and you don't love me. So tell the people one thing. I know you travel well. You enjoy life, but you don't spend a lot on your travel.
I do not.
So tell them some tips on how they can travel on a budget and not be on a budget.
Okay. So some of the ways you can travel on a budget and not be, because I like you said, I like to travel. I love to go, and I like to stay in the nice places. I like to eat the nice food. But you will be surprised. People are like, you do what? So let's say I want to go to a really nice restaurant. I want to, just have a great time and just enjoy a good steakhouse. Even though I don't eat steak, but I might go to a good steakhouse and something like that. You'll be surprised at what you can find on different sites like dining.com or Groupon.com. All these different places where you can get the same meal that everybody else in that restaurant is enjoying for half the price. So I do a lot of that. I love to do a lot of that when I'm traveling. As far as the hotels and stuff, I get great deals with. Well, right now, I used to do with the Marriott because you have friends, you have family who works for different hotel chains, whether it be Marriott or Hilton or whatever the big chains are, they have what they call friends and family. So become a friend or a family or somebody. The other thing that I like to tell people to do, swap services. It's not always have to be money. If I do taxes and you do hair, and guess what? Maybe I don't have the money to get my hair done or whatever. Guess what? I'm gonna do your taxes. You can do my hair.
That's
so we're
real.
gonna swap a service out. So swap services with other people. A lot of people, like I said, work for different hotels here. A lot of people work for cruise line industry. They get the family and friends rate, and so you swap different services with different people to get different things like that. The other thing that you can do is I like to save for my vacations ahead of time. That's part of my spending plan. I put X amount of dollars every month into my travel budget. Because when I come back, I don't want to have to pay credit cards. I want to be able to have it paid in full. So you want to add your vacations to your travel, to your spending budget. Put X amount of money every month away in your spending budget for your traveling. The other thing you want to do is there are different sales, there are different deals. So if you are a cruise person, make sure you sign up for Carnival, Norwegian, Royal Caribbean. Sign up and they will send you specials and deals that they're having. There's one I'm trying to get on right now.
And I'll go.
I just told you I'm going 12 days for $500. I'm ready. Same.
You think I'm joking, don't you?
Okay,
I want to go. And see, this is what I decided to. I told Woody and I said, I'm not a cruise girl, but I got to start cruising because I find that you find the better deals with the cruises. You don't have to worry about the hotels. You know if it's going to be clean or not because you're going to be in that spot. You get to eat in it. So everything is included. And so I think that it's something that I really wanted to try and look into it. So yeah, I really want to do that. And so I do find that when you do put money away, you can have, when the deals come, you could be able to afford it because the deal come. But on the thing, not all the deals allow you to pay them up. You got to pay it when the deals show up.
some of them you have to pay in full when the deals show up, or there's if you plan in advance, I think like 3 to 6 months in advance, you can get a good discount on them when you buy them in advance and everything like that. So
it's cheaper to cruise. Sometimes it is. I want to ask you this question too about birthdays, right? Because I know you have a way that you can do an A to Z as far as how people get things free for their birthday for different places. I want you to share that with somebody. Share that. Roxanne wanted to know how did you feel about using the payment plan afforded by various airlines, and I also wanted to know what is your intake on living off credit cards. Okay.
I don't believe in paying interest for anything if I don't have to. Only thing I'm gonna pay interest for if I absolutely have to is a house or a car or a humongous purchase that you can't or do not want to pay in full at that particular time. Because, okay, let's say you pay for $1,000 cruise with a credit card and you're paying it at 25% interest, and you're paying the minimum, which is usually like $40 a month. It will take you almost 3 years to pay that off, and that $1,000 has now become about $1,800 by the time you make those $40 payments. Because remember, if 25% interest, then $25 of that $40 you just paid is going to go toward interest, and only 15 of that is going to go towards your principal. So it takes you longer and costs you more money to pay off. And majority of the times, the first thing many of us want to know is, okay, well, how much is that going to cost me a month? But the real question is, what's the interest rate? That's
At the end of the day, how much are you going to pay for that? Is it worth it?
Correct.
Okay. And then what do you think about the affordable airplane? I guess I found out you can put certain tickets on layaway now.
On layaway, yes, that's fine. Okay. But if you're paying in interest on it, then you're still overpaying.
Okay. Now talk to us about it's my birthday and I want everything free. Tell me where we can go for my birthday.
It's my birthday and I want it all for free. So there are several companies, hundreds of companies out there that give you free stuff just for your birthday. So I'm happy those that want it, I'll actually drop the link in there as well. You can go to Denny's and start out with breakfast. You can go to Firehouse Sub. You can go to Schuler's Steakhouse.
Wow.
Yes. So it's so many places, and it's not just food. I think Ulta, is it Ulta Beauty?
Ulta Beauty.
Ulta Beauty, you get like a few free makeup, something free for makeup. There's so many places. There's a place that you can go. You get like a free pedicure. But I would definitely drop the link.
Yeah, Tiara said I want the birthday freebies. Oh, and so you guys make sure you guys share this again. Keep sharing it. Come back to the link. All the information that she's sharing tonight will be dropped. She will take her time and drop it into the link. Also, Morgan says Sephora will give you free gifts for your birthday.
Yes, yeah. There's a lot of places on there, and you would be surprised. Like I was surprised about Sheba's Steakhouse. Mm-hmm. You know, getting in Benihana's, mm-hmm. You get free. You know, so there's a lot of places on there where you can get freebie.
Yeah, I think a lot of us leave a lot of free money on the table mm-hmm. because we're not willing to do the research, right? Mm-hmm. Or sometimes the time that it takes to get it, you know, as far as coupon or Groupon.
I look at it like this. Everything takes a little time. Mm-hmm. Going on to Facebook and scrolling takes time.
A lot of time.
And I tell people quick, Facebook don't pay me to scroll. Mm-hmm. But if I decide I want to go to a coupon site and download some coupons and take them to the store the next day, they're going to pay me mm-hmm. to do that because I'm getting something for free or almost free. So anything you do will take a little time. You just have to be willing to decide what is going to be in your best interest.
Yeah, somebody said they want to get all the tips, Nichola. Yolanda said, Nichola, I'm getting all the tips. Okay. And so, Nichola, you taught us about getting into stock. People used to say real estate. Real estate is really not the place right now if your money is tight, mm-hmm. right? You know, I feel like if you know, what we're paying for now is way more than what it's really worth. Mm-hmm. And so besides stock, how else can someone invest their money, or where would you think be a safe place to invest your money? I know everything is a risk, mm-hmm. but I'm just saying another safe place to invest your money.
I'm gonna back up a little bit, even with the real estate. For me, real estate is not a great investment for me, and this is Your Money Matters and Nichola speaking in Florida.
Okay.
But I bought property in Georgia, and I bought property in different places and rent those places out because the property tax on the house in Georgia is like I think $300 or $400 a year. The mortgage, not the mortgage, but the interest rates are like so cheap, and then everything is just cheaper mm-hmm. away from Florida.
We're the number one state that's the highest place to live here. Mm-hmm. We're taking over New York.
I believe it, and so I'm not against the real estate. And there's also what they call there's a list when people don't pay their property taxes, foreclosures and property taxes, and you can buy somebody's house for what they owe in property taxes, like, you know, especially like in Georgia and Carolina and different places like that. And then you take that, you flip it, you fix it up, and you rent it out, and you make all your money back on it. So I'm not against, you know, the real estate. It's just Florida is so high. Mm-hmm. I would suggest if you're going to do the real estate and you don't have that type of money, as far as because just the insurance alone is crazy.
Yeah.
So if you're looking for real estate, look outside of Florida, and I think you'll do good with that. The other thing for investing is stocks, bonds, mutual funds.
Stocks, bonds, mutual funds.
I am a huge fan of stocks, bonds, and mutual funds.
I used to tell people all the time, they're like, "You a trick on what?" I say, "Yeah, for stocks, bonds, and mutual funds."
Not stocks, bonds, and mutual funds.
But not just to be tricky.
The younger generation is into the crypto. I can't speak for crypto. I'm old school,
yeah,
you know. So, but my kids are very heavy into crypto, and they have done very, very well. Other ways as far as investing is invest in first of all, invest in yourself. Mm-hmm. And what I mean by that is if there is something that you enjoy doing, make a business out of it. Make it. Roxana, for instance, let's take her for instance. She's one person who loves to iron.
Yeah,
for years she did that and made a business out of it. It's cheaper to make a business than to buy a pair of Nike sometimes.
That's true. This is
true.
So
you take that, you know, whether it be a car washing business service, invest in yourself. You know, yes, you can still work, But guess what? You can start that business, and then when you get ready to retire from that job, you still have your business going and other people working for you, so that you can have money coming in for your retirement.
Or your 995 can fund your business.
Exactly.
That's what I've learned. Nichola, Janelle said yes, you can pay for it, but they have a year to pay for it. If not, then you keep the property. Is that what you're talking about?
Yes.
Okay.
So what happens is when you buy somebody's house, because they didn't pay the property taxes, they have a year to repay you plus interest for it. But if they couldn't pay for it, then where they gonna get the money to pay for it? And that is so true. And I've bought several homes like that, and I've never had to return any of them, because majority of them is either somebody who's passed away and the family just don't want to be bothered with the taxes and everything on it, or somebody who just don't have the money and they've moved on from it. But yes, that is correct.
Yeah, she says 20%. Check out Janelle Brown also, you guys. She's great with building business credit. If you're looking to build your business credit, you want to connect with Janelle Brown as well. Cola, any tips that you think that we, as far as trying to get on the right path, should know as far as money matters?
Yes. First of all, it is important to be mindful of not just the money you make, but where you spend your money and who you spend your money with. Prime example, if you own a home, every single year you should be checking for different rates for homeowners insurance, different rates for car insurance, different things. Matter of fact, I'm currently with AAA, homeowners and car insurance, and it's time for me to renew the end of this month, the 30th. And so I did my due diligence. I went out, I started looking different places, went to Allstate, signed the policy today, and saved $4,500. That's real money.
Yeah, I know you should tell me back in the day, you was like, don't be loyal to them, they're not loyal to you.
Do not.
And we get with the same insurance for our car, and we never leave.
I don't
have them for 12 years.
Mhm.
I don't have this cell phone for this service here for 30 years. But yeah, they keep going up, they keep charging you interest, they keep doing this extra fees. So if you can find someone who will give you a better deal, leave them.
Mhm.
Even with Comcast, and you used to always say, don't be faithful to them, Hobo.
I tell anybody, don't be faithful to nothing that's not faithful to you. And Comcast, none of those providers are faithful to you. So every year, I do my due diligence. I will leave Comcast in 2021 and go to AT&T in 2022 and go back to Comcast in 2023. Because guess what? Now I'm a new customer again,
right.
And you're going to give me a better deal because I'm a new customer, but you're not going to give me that same deal that you're going to get somebody else new. So guess what? I'm going to leave and go over to the next guy, because I tell people quick, I don't care how many times they go up and down that attic as long as I get the price I want. So that's one thing. Make sure that if you're going to be loyal to someone or a company, that they're loyal to you. Okay, so you've had AT&T cell phone service for 25 years. But guess what? I can go to AT&T right now because I have T-Mobile. And my phone bill will be $100 to $250 cheaper than yours because I'm new. If they really was that faithful to you, then they would have given you the discount for being such a long time client. But they don't. So you want to always go in every single year and check your cell phone company. Make sure you get the right price. Check your internet company. Check, your home phone if you still have that. Whatever, car insurance, home insurance. Double check that. $4,500. That's real money.
Do like me, and they ain't pay me, but I got a bootleg. I call it Mint Mobile, and that's not bootleg, but Mint Mobile, where you pay $300 for the whole year, and everything is unlimited.
Really?
Text, call, Wi-Fi, everything unlimited. Give it a try. Morgan said, "What do you think about the life insurance route?"
Okay, so life insurance, I say is a yes. You want to definitely have life insurance. I believe in term life insurance and not whole life insurance. Because let's say if you take out a term life insurance for you versus a whole life insurance policy, it's going to be much more. The whole life insurance policy, they say, okay, we're going to take this extra money that we would charge you, we're going to invest it, and then maybe you can borrow against it. So let's say a $50,000 term life plan for a person of your age would possibly be, let's just say $30 a month, versus a whole life, they want $120 a month. So guess what? That extra $90, take it and invest it yourself. So I do believe in insurance. However, I personally believe in the term life insurance, and because you want that insurance to cover you. So if you're married, you want that insurance to at least cover at least 2 to 3 years of what your spouse's salary is, because now you have to remember you will no longer have that income coming in to help you with the bill. So whatever it is, or if you're single, you want it to cover your salary for that amount so that your kids or your loved ones would have that.
Yeah. And if you can't, just get enough that we ain't got to worry about how to bury it. Because that is the most embarrassing and stressful thing. You just lost your loved one. Now you got to sell a t-shirt, bag money. Make sure that if you can't do anything, you keep enough to cover your family member, that you don't have to add that extra burden on someone who's passed away.
And if you have an insurance policy, do not give it to the funeral home company. Better yet, just tell them you're going to pay for it, get that price, because from what I'm being told and what I've seen personally is the prices are different if you have insurance, because they're going to try to spin up all that insurance. But if they think you don't have any money, they're going to give you, we'll just do it for $5,000 here or something. But if they know that this insurance is going to be whatever that insurance policy is, and you're not trying, and the other thing about that is, I don't mean to go off on a side note, but when we're burying our loved ones, please remember that money is to help you now that they are gone, not to put it all in the ground with them, with the gold casket and the doves and all that. I mean, it's all nice and good, but that money should be going to help you with the bills after they are no longer there.
Again, we wear our money, even when we dead. We wear our money instead of putting it to the side. I put it to the side. Don't put I tell my baby all the time, keep my money. Don't put it on me, Put it on you, baby. Buy yourself something. Morgan said she was referred to the one that pay you if you outlive it. That's whole.
The one that pay you if that's the whole.
That's the whole life.
Yeah, but how many of us are really going to outlive those
and what is the year?
And how much are you getting versus what you've already paid into it? You're not getting the full amount that you paid into it back. And there's not many of us, unfortunately, that outlive those whole lifetime policies.
Yeah, and like you said, instead of giving it to them in hopes of outliving it, put it to the side and invest it in somewhere else. Yes. Okay. Girl, I think this was good. You guys have any other questions for Nichola? Please go and follow her. On her page is Your Money Matter, as well as Instagram and Facebook.
Correct.
Okay, and she's open for a private session. There is a consultation fee for her to sit down and talk with you, because ain't nobody wasting time. But get with her and she will make a difference in your life. She made a difference in my life. I didn't follow it, but when I needed it, you was the second person that helped me with Credit Karma and to get my credit to the point where I got to the point where I was good. And so I know you know what you're talking about. You're not just talking, I see you living it, you walk me through it. So glad you're back in my life to walk me through it again. And make sure you guys stay connected if you want the information. Again, her name, follow her on Facebook, Your Money Matters. I will tell you to follow her personal page, Nichola Madry, but she don't be doing nothing. But you can, because you'll go look for her. She been on signed out for a little bit. But Your Money Matters is always up. She is wise when it comes time to, if you want to say, do coupons. I've seen her. She took me to the store with her. And so I like that you're proof. You're not just talking. And I didn't bring you on here just because you're my friend. But you walked me through those things. You taught me to sign up for the different, sign up with Walgreens and CVS so you can get their card. And everywhere you can, if they have a discount card or a membership card, get it. You taught me that too. Definitely. I was like, I don't want all them on my keys. You was like, just put it in the car, put it in the trunk, Capo, but get it. And so, hearts up for Nichola. You guys enjoyed the show. If you need me to bring her back again for some details, let me know. We will definitely bring her back. She does know finance. She do business as well as personal income tax. And so if you're looking for someone who's faithful and loyal and who's going to have your best interest in mind, again, follow Your Money Matters on Instagram as well as Facebook. Anything else, Cole?
Yeah, before we go, we're going to choose one of your listeners and we're going to give them a free consultation for Your Money Matters and, get them started on the right path.
Okay. I don't know how you're going to do it, but Nichola said if you want it, say pick me, and she say pick me and you're gonna get a free consultation. How long is the consultation? Because you know black folks will get you and you try to keep you for 4 hours. So your 30 minutes, an hour, what is the consultation?
It's an hour consultation.
It's an hour consultation free. Morgan, first one, pick me. Will it be biased if I say Morgan? Because I need you to get your life together. Roxanne said pick me. Tracy said pick me. Lord, I don't know who to pick, but we gonna pick somebody. And when she call you, you'll know she picked you. So keep up, watch your inbox, and however she'll respond to you and let you know whether or not you was the one that was chosen. Again, she does, as Roxanne says, she has a passion. Nichola does have passion to help you. And listen, I'm telling you about finance, but she is a wealth of information. She's a person that can find anything, anyone. She could be your private eye.
Yeah.
She could be your PI. She knows how to research. She knows what to do to get you to what you need. If she don't know, she will direct you to someone who do know. But it's not too much that she don't know. She kind of reminds me of a Woody. You know, you ask them a question, they already got an answer. But if you need Nichola, again, you want to follow her at Your Money Matters, you guys. And I'm excited. Thank you, Cola. I think that you making a difference. You're telling the people what to do with their income tax money and what not to do with them. And again, the most important thing is put your money where you invest in. Whatever you wearing, whatever you like, invest in those stocks. That's the way to start. If you don't know where to start there, because if you're wearing it, you might as well make money off of it. If you paying into it, if you can get something out of it, most definitely that's where you want to put your money. And we're going to do the spending, what is it called? Spending challenge.
Yes.
Spending challenge. Okay? All right. Anyway, you guys, thank you. We are here every Monday at 7 p.m. Don't forget, Mommy's Mondays is every first Monday of the month at 7 p.m. Hey, if you have anything that you want to share, that you feel like you can come and add to the platform, that you'll make a difference in someone's life, if God did it for you, that he can do it for them, then he'll hook us up hit us up at BTrue2U@yahoo.com, BTrue2U Talk Show at yahoo.com. Again, that's BTrue2U Talk Show at yahoo.com. Or you can inbox us. We would love to have you as a guest to come share your story, share your books, share your products, anything that would help us become better with your story. We greatly appreciate you. Remember to follow us on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook at BTrue2U Talk Show. Hey, share our pages, and subscribe to us on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook. And if you don't need what we have to offer, somebody else may. So make sure you share. Sharing is caring. And all I need you to do is share. If everybody would just share, everybody would throw us a heart, everybody would make a comment, it can help us get out there farther. So I thank you for that. Remember, BTrue2U is not about being perfect. It's about being real with God so you can be true to you, then you can be true to others. It's about owning up to your good, your bad, and your indifference. Those things that you can change, those things that you can't change, you accept them. Those things that we can, we put on our big girl panties and we do the work. So remember, I love you. Jesus love you too. Remember, in everything you do, always, always be true to you. I love you. I mean it. Bye.
about being okay with the good, bad, and ugly. To accept those things about ourselves that we can't change, and those things that need to be changed, we put on our big girl panties and do the work. Be True to You is about being real with God, being real with self, so we can be true to you. Be True to You is not about competing with one another. We're about complementing one another.